Shit, you want to just repeat that question?
Yeah, I got you. Welcome back to the DWD podcast. Today, we're joined with one of the most creative people I've seen thus far. Everybody, please give a warm welcome to Benny Brisk.
Welcome, Benny. We're really excited to have you on the pod.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, of course.
I'm
So,
happy to be here.
for the folks who don't know you, could you give a little bit of background about yourself? Maybe talk a little bit about music production, because I know you're into that.
So basically, I'm a music producer. I've been producing for I'd say since end of 7th grade, so 4 years now. And I got that's basically what's the deal. And I got into music when I was about 2 years old, 3 years old. My dad plays guitar since he's 10, so that's how I got into music. He got me a drum set when I was 3, picked up that pretty well. It turned out great. Played the drums. I always wanted to be a professional drummer, I would say. When I was little, when people would ask me yo, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would always be yo, I want to be a professional drummer. And then excuse me, once middle school hit, I kind of realized it's hard nowadays to make good money being a professional drummer. So I took on piano lessons, but that kind of fell off. So I kind of self-taught myself piano, and then I took up production, and then so here I am.
Word. So how is your creative process developed throughout the years? Where did you start? What was the first thing you started looking into in terms of programs and stuff like that?
Where did I start? So basically, my cousins actually are DJs and producers, and they're late in their early 30s, late 20s, and they're brothers. So they put me on in 7th grade. I saw what they did, and I was damn, yo, that's fire. I want to make my own music. You know what I mean? That's dope. 7th grade hit, and I realized that it's hard to make a living, make a good income off being a professional drummer. So I knew my cousins were DJs and producers, and I saw what they did. I was damn, that's sick. They're making their own music. I always knew I wanted to make my own music. So I was damn, I want to do this. So I picked that up. They taught me a lot of things. They taught me a lot of softwares and programs. Some programs that they taught me are Machine and Ableton. And those are 2 music production programs. And I picked that up, self-taught myself piano. And later on, this year, I ended up taking piano lessons because I really wanted to get nice with the piano. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's basically what happened. Yeah. So now Here I am producing. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's the creative process kind of like? Where do you get your inspiration from, and then how do you take that and materialize it into making your own music?
Honestly, it comes for me. It comes from anything. I'd say this year was I used to really focus on everything else, that what everyone else was doing, and I would look at the music world, let's say for example, Juice WRLD and Nick Mira. You guys know Nick Mira or not?
Yeah, of course.
So he's actually our age. I think you guys are 17, right? Or 18, right?
Yeah, I'm 17.
Okay, word. Okay, so but anyways, yeah, he's my age. So I would always look at people and be damn, I want to do that, and I want to do that. Oh wait, I should do that. But then this year, I really realized yo, I gotta chill. I gotta take a step back. I gotta really do what I want to do, and not I could use other people's music as inspiration, but to a certain extent, I want to create my own sound. You know what I mean? I want people to know, damn, that's that's a Benny Brisk beat. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? In a
Yeah.
sense like that. So basically I take inspiration from everything, like things I hear on the radio. I grew up on playing the drums, and my dad was playing guitar ever since he was 10. So we used to jam out. I grew up on rock. So I take rock. I listen to rock all the time, listen to blues, listen to jazz. I listen to all that stuff, and I try to incorporate like that into my music. Anything, nature, like even though it sounds like weird or whatever, like I really anything inspires me. Like I'd be watching a movie with my family and I just hear like a certain chord progression, and then I'd be like, damn, like nah, I'm out. I gotta go like produce. I gotta go lay this down. You know what I mean? And go right to the studio and fucking record it. But like anything, voice memos is a biggest thing. I'd be in the middle of math class, like, and I'd just think of something, and then I'd be like, and then I just record it down in my voice memo. So like, it's that, you know what I mean? Inspiration with me comes from anything. It could be anything, you know?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. I'm wondering, you mentioned a little bit about the issue with comparison, and I think many artists probably experience that. I know Joey and I experienced that even with podcasting. How do you go about differentiating yourself now? Like, how do you find, or how have you tried to find that unique sound for yourself?
I really focus on isolating myself from society and really taking a step back, because I work with a lot of artists. I'd say I work with, like, in my whole life, I'd probably work with like 15, almost 20 artists. Basically, artists I work with all the time would be like on their phones, we'd be in the studio, whatever, and they'd be like, pull up a song. I want to do this. I'm like, bro, like that's done, bro. It's done already. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm not saying I don't want to do something like that, but I don't want to copy exactly what someone's doing. So really, I try to use inspiration, use other songs out there and whatever as inspiration, but don't copy it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, I really am trying to make a name for myself in terms of being really exclusive. Like, people on Instagram hit me up all the time, like asking for beats, like, yo, bro, how much a beat costs? Like, how much this? I'm like, I don't really like sell beats. Like, people ask me all the time, why don't you have a YouTube page for your beats, or this or that? And I'm like, well, like, to be honest, like um I want to come up known as like an exclusive producer,
Mm.
in terms of like, oh damn, like you're working with Benny Brisk, like you're working with Benny, like that's fire. How'd you get a Benny beat? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be like, do you guys know Cash Money AP?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
Or like Taz Taylor? Like, everyone has his beats. He's not like, it's not like, oh my, it's like, I want to be like the Metro Boomin. Like, holy shit, if you have a Metro Boomin beat, that's like ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Next wave.
So exactly, that's what I'm trying to do. So like, yeah, I'm trying to separate myself in terms of exclusiveness, in terms of inspiration. Like, I could take inspiration but not copy. And also in terms of my sound, I really focus on my melodies. So like, in terms of like um all my sounds, like I would say my strongest, yeah, my strongest is definitely my melodies, but I the most I enjoy is like dreamy stuff, like lucid dreams, like those type of melodies, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So like,
So speaking of that, in terms of, melody and everything, I'm wondering, when you're making your music, when do you know you have a sound that's like gonna pop? When do you know that you've struck gold? Is there a feeling that you have, or is it after the fact when someone hops on the beat that you feel confident about what you've produced?
okay, yeah, I'd say like, you don't really know when you strike. Like, there's definitely a feeling you get when there's like a hit, like, you know what I mean? There's definitely a feeling you get, like, damn, like this is next level, like this is fire, like people are gonna fuck with this, like, for a fact. Like, there's no arguing, like when something is good, like obviously there's going to be people who are like, like I don't know, I don't really like it. But when there's a hit, it's kind of like not letting someone say they don't like it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? In a sense, like it's just like you have to make everything good about it. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like there's definitely a feeling you get when you make a hit and strike gold. Like it's but there's also a feeling you get when you don't feel like a song is that good and then it ends up doing great. You know what I mean? So it's really unpredictable nowadays, but yeah.
Word. So what about like I love how you talked about the fact that there's gonna be certain days, certain beats which you make, certain pieces of music which you create with an artist which don't go as planned. What do you do to help fix that situation? To say it's okay if I messed up now, but I'll get back up later.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I can't lie. Of course, like I make amazing beats and I make trash beats. Like you know what I mean? It's not like I'm on every second. No one's like making like hits, banging out hits left and right. But uh people definitely go on rolls. You know what I mean? I've been on a roll like whatever. I'm like, damn, like I've been making pretty good beats lately. But like in terms of like songs flopping and not doing as well as you thought, um I just take it as if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, we're gonna just keep making music. I don't do this for the numbers, you know what I mean? Like I don't really do it for like obviously money is like in the end, like obviously I'm doing it for the money and obviously I want the money. Fame will come with it. If I don't get famous, I could care less. Money, obviously I need that to support, like I want to have a family, whatever. I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do this for the music. So when you say like, oh, how do I get back on my feet? Like when a song flops, like I don't really take it personal. Like I've had many songs like that I thought I were gonna do very well, like flop. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm finna make a hit tomorrow, you know? So
Yeah.
like that's how I take it. I really like try to be very positive in a sense, like because when you don't let yourself be negative, you know, nothing bad comes out of it, you know.
Word. Word.
The one thing I'm curious about, and I know a lot of people struggle with this, with perfectionism and stuff of that sort.
No doubt, yeah.
So what is that? What does that feel like? Like, are there times where you just, you're stuck on a beat, you just keep hashing it out, and you just have to drop it? What do you do to get over that hurdle of trying to be perfect with what you're creating?
Yeah. With me, I play a few roles. So when it comes to recording, like artists, like the artists I work with, um, I play the producer role, I play the engineer role, and I play the mixing and master role. So a lot of people who aren't in the music industry and aren't involved with that a little. Did it cut out?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're back again.
You're back.
Keep
You're
going.
back. Yeah,
I'll just pick off. Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, people who aren't familiar with the whole music scene and like with the process don't really understand what that really means. So I'll just explain that really quick.
Sure.
So basically, a producer is the one who makes um the sounds, puts all the sounds together, and it doesn't have to be that though. Like I could be a producer and not even make the beat. You know what I mean? I could be a producer and like basically just arrange everything, like tell the beat maker, oh, I want that there, like I want that bell there, I want ad lib, oh, harmonize that. You know what I mean? Like in terms of that. But that's what a producer, he kind of like arranges and like kind of arranges a song basically. Engineer is the one who is recording the vocals and recording other like instruments or whatever. That's an engineer, and basically they basically mix a song in terms of like making instruments at a higher level or lower in the mix and whatever. And mastering is like the post-production process in terms of like videos. Like, you know how you've post-production. So basically that's like kind of the same thing as mastering. It's making it top notch. It's making it sound crisp. It's making it sound clear. It's making each sound the best it can be. So yeah, I play all those roles, and it's hard sometimes, you know what I mean? It really is hard. Like I'd say my best, what I'm best at is producing. I'm definitely like, that's my strength. I have a good ear for sounds and certain, like, I know what fits, what doesn't fit. And mixing and mastering and engineering is definitely not my best. Because like when you listen to, let's say, my music and people I produce and mix, and then you listen to, let's say, Drake and The Weeknd and whatever, Uzi, you could obviously tell a difference in sound. And no one really realizes that a huge part of why you're liking a song is the engineering and the mixing and mastering, because they make it sound so good to the ear, and like nothing is wrong with it. Like it's just so crisp and it sounds good. You know what I mean? Like, you ever hear a song and it's just like distorted and it just sounds like shit? Like, like I don't know.
Like this
I don't know if
audio?
you have. I don't know if you have, but like that's called shit engineering. That's called,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But definitely I try to overcome that, because like I know that's not my strength, but I definitely work on it every day, and I'm trying to get better and better as I grow in this industry. But yeah, I definitely I try to like not hone in on that, oh, like I'm bad at this, you know. And I try to be like, okay, I'm gonna get better, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the right mindset too.
100%.
Yeah. Mindset is everything in this game, in this world. Whether it's what you're doing, making podcasts, everything in life is mindset, and that's my top priority. Just getting my mind straight and like everything.
Word. Joe, you have another question?
Yeah, I wanna riff off on that mindset thing. What do you do before the recording process, before you walk in with a hit artist, to get yourself in the right mood, the right mindset to create that banger?
Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I've had plenty of times where I'm just like I'm not trying to record right now. Like, I'm not even trying to be in the studio right now. Like, everyone has those times where they're just like not inspired, and they're just trying to sit on the couch, smoke a fucking blunt, and watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like literally, like, but um, my in terms of my mindset, I know I'm only 18. You know what I mean? I just turned 18 and I have a lot of time. But with me, the I I take it as the more the quicker I want it to come, the harder I have to work. And I'd say 60%, if not 75% of everything I do is my mindset. Um I even, like, this isn't before I record, but I also take time to meditate. I know a lot of people my age and everything don't do that, but I see like people like Kobe Bryant, for example, and I'm like, damn, like he's just like his mindset is retarded. Like he is the GOAT. Like the way he thinks, like I want to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, and one thing I noticed is he really like meditated, and like people take that, like especially our age, people take that as a joke. Like, oh, you meditate, like like the whole Zen thing. Like,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that's not what meditating is. Like, bro, like you need to clear your mind. You need to like take a step back and relax and just look at the situation, look at whatever it is, and just really like process everything. Because like I know a lot of 18-year-olds just like have a lot going on in life. You know what I mean? We're just always on social media. We're just always on this, always on that. And with me making music, I definitely got overwhelmed, and I definitely like, I look at people, like I said earlier, like I compare myself, and I'm learning to stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like with podcasts, I'm sure it's the same. Like we want to be like that podcast. We want to be that popping. We want to have that many subscribers. But like like you also have to learn, like it does take time. It takes, you know what I mean? Like, and there's sacrifice. You know what I mean? That I have learned. I recently, this whole quarantine shit, for me, this whole thing is, I took it as, damn, like God really blessed me with this time. Because funny
100%.
thing is, all of February or whatever, I'd say this whole year, I was just like, this year was really just crazy for me. And I was always like, damn, like I need more fucking time. Like I need more time. I don't have time to do everything I want. I'm a big procrastinator, which is the worst thing in the world to be a procrastinator, but that's besides the point. So like being a procrastinator and me trying to achieve what I want to do, and I was saying to myself, I need time. And then all of a sudden, boom, this fucking coronavirus hit. And I was just like, damn, like now I got time. Like, holy shit. Like now I could plan out my days. I wake up in the morning. I sip my coffee. I'm like, damn, okay, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today to say to myself, positive ass day, banged it out. That's a W. Like I actually keep a calendar in my studio, and not necessarily having to do with music every time, not necessarily having to, it's just like basically if I did not do what I wanted to do that day, let's say in terms of working out, in terms of in terms of meditating, in terms of organizing my computer, whatever, if I don't do it, I put a fat L on the day, and I know that, okay, I took an L that day. All right. I know tomorrow I want to take that dub. You know what I mean? Like it's all how you make your life. Like no one's, especially our age. Like I have huge respect for what you guys are doing, because like you guys are really like doing something. You know what I mean? Like all these kids,
Bro,
they
they're
don't.
sitting on their phone for
Bro,
hours a day doing nothing.
it's bad. It's bad. And
Yeah.
I like finally I got this time, so I'm doing all this, whatever. The first week of quarantine, I actually wasn't doing what I want to do. And so yeah, after that week hit, I was like, damn, like, okay, God gave me this time. I gotta use this shit to my advantage. So I actually disabled my Instagram. This is for like a few days, whatever. I was like, I'm done. I left every group chat I'm in, whatever. I disabled my Instagram. I logged off Snapchat, everything. I basically isolated myself from society. I turned off my phone because I was realizing, okay, my phone's I'm starting to use it way too much. I'm starting to get out of hand. And then I got back on track, and then slowly I'm still not in any group chats, which I don't really care about, to be honest. But yeah, I went back on Instagram, and because like in the end, Instagram for me, especially a musician, I need it in terms of promotions and staying relevant. Because if you're irrelevant for a month, like people forget about you like that. You have to be in people's faces. You know what I mean?
And I think the takeaways are also really important. I really like the note that you were talking about, taking time to step away from society. And recently I've been looking at like some very successful people and just thinking what is necessary to take those steps to become successful. And one book that I really like that I've recommended to a ton of people is a book called Digital Minimalism by this professor called Newport. And he talks about how solitude is super important, because it gives you that space to reflect and take time to be in touch with yourself. So I think it's super interesting to hear that from the music production side, because I know I've been experiencing that myself in terms of just creativity and where I want to take like branding and stuff and any of my interests. So that's just super cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And a side note to that, it's a little bit of a tangent from this, but I'm just curious what an ideal collaboration looks like for you. Like if you had to shoot for the stars,
Yeah.
and you were just like, I just want to work with this person, who would that be and why?
Oh shit. Honestly, I was talking to my boys the other my not my boys, my family about this the other day. I just say my boys all the time, so I just forget.
I
Yeah.
mean, yo,
Um,
your family can
Yeah,
be
yeah,
your
they're the
boys
boys.
too.
I
my
can.
family is my boys. That's it. But yeah, I was talking to my sister and she said that to me. Same question. And um it's kind of tough, like in terms of picking someone's brain. I really want to know how Kanye thinks in terms of music and how his process. I would love to work with Kanye in terms of producing and the whole musical standpoint. Um, I'll give you three people because honestly, I can't tell you one. I'm sorry, but like I can't. Um, for producing, I'd definitely say something like Kanye, probably Kanye. For vocals, the artist I would love to work with is I really like The Weeknd, and yeah, I'd probably say The Weeknd, honestly. Um, yeah, shit, this is hard,
It's
but
all good, but
Yeah, but
that's
that
the
like
cool part,
yeah,
you
the
know?
dope
Like,
part is like, asking these questions, making you think, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So just having
yeah,
that having that space to really like consider those sort of end goals. It really helps you like isolate what your objective.
I also have another particular question about like just Kanye in general, because I know this is a debate that people have online all the time. Do you think he's a musical genius, and if so, like what about his music makes him so special?
um, he, I feel like he's really like he has his own sound. You know what I mean? Like people know like the way he plays, like the way Kanye plays, the way he puts sounds together, you could tell it's him, and that's why I told you before, like I want to create my own sound. I want people to know it's me. That's why, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's basically why I think Kanye is such a musical genius because he he really creates things that no one's ever really encountered, and like I give him so much credit because like even though people haven't heard it before, like they still like catch on to it and like it, like not many people could do that, honestly. Like it's a fact. Like Life of Pablo was it, like I loved that like his earlier albums are obviously like I think his best, but um yeah, he's definitely like in terms of music he's definitely up there. Yeah.
Definitely, 100%. So it's really difficult to get anything started. I know it might be similar for you, but for Asher and I, getting this project started and really getting our voice out there was super difficult at first. What did you do during the
Yeah.
beginning stages of your production process to break through those boundaries and still continue creating even when people weren't messing with your message?
As soon like I said, I was always in music, so people who knew me knew I like played the drums, knew that like I was in music. And like my best friends all know that like my dad plays guitar, my dad's in a band, whatever. So always like I was always like made it known that I was a drummer in terms of like anytime there was a chance, like talent show, always in it, playing the drums, whatever. Um, I was always in the band, I was always in jazz band, everything. Like always just putting myself out there and showing people like I always love to put on a show and show people what I could do, whatever. And when it came to production, um I'd say like social media of course like helped me a ton, but I would definitely ask my friends for some help. They would repost all the time, like show some love. Recently people showing love is harder to get nowadays because like no one really cares anymore. But like, yeah, I that's how it really like that's how I broke out. I would always just like I said, just keep push like I would make sure people see it, like put it in their face. You know what I mean? Like I would make sure people know. Also, a big thing. Uh, I started DJing in like ninth grade, and people would know me as a DJ. So they just knew associated me with music, and then like if people followed me, they would find out I'm a music producer. So yeah, that was definitely a big part of it.
Yeah, and I respect that a lot. Honestly, the grind in the beginning is really difficult. And I think the last question I want to end on, and you probably get this a lot, but why Benny Brisk? Why that name?
Okay, so this is a funny story actually. So
Perfect.
in ninth grade, I decided I wanted to be I didn't want to use my regular name, but I wanted to associate my first name, which is my first name's Ben, but like people call me Benny, so like I wanted to associate my first name, and at first I was thinking like some stupid shit like Jack Frost and stuff like that. Like, and I was like, nah, like definitely, like, nah, I'm not gonna be like, whatever. So like, I would in ninth grade, like some weird thing like I would always do is like I would just say random ass shit, and I would always come up, I would always come up with like new words. I'm dead ass. Like I would always come up with new words, and like.
Joey's dead. Yo, on the low though, Joey does that all the time,
bro. Like, you know how X was like Gekyum, like this man made his own words. Like that's all I'm thinking about.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I would make my own words, and like I would try to make them relevant in my school, and like I would try to make people say it. Like I would just like whatever, and like all of a sudden, like I always said Brisk, like, and if you search up Brisk, it says, I'll search it up right now.
Your face is the image.
It's like the dictionary. It searches up Brisk
funny,
and then he fills up.
That would be lit. That would be fucking lit. So Brisk, active, fast, and energetic is the definition of Brisk. So, like, I would just like, that was definitely not my definition of Brisk. Like, I would always like, I would associate it with good. So, like, if someone says like, like yo, I just copped these new pairs of Yeezys. I'm like, yo, that's brisk, bro. Like that's heat. Like that's fire. Like whatever. So like I was always saying that, and like some people would say it like that's brisk, like to like not to make fun of me, but like kind of to make fun of me, like whatever. And eventually, I was just like Benny Brisk, and then like it just kind of stuck. I was like, that's kind of fire though. Like honestly, like it kind of sticks. It's like BB, like it kind of goes together. It's like clean. Like I'm like, fuck it, that's my name.
If any of the folks want to reach out to you, listen to your music, that type of jazz, where should they hit you up?
I would definitely go to my SoundCloud because most of my music is on there. I also have a Spotify and Apple Music, everything at Benny Brisk, so you could find me there.
Awesome, dude. All right, we'll make sure to link that all in the description as well. That's all from us on the DWD podcast for today. We will see you when we see you. That's all. Peace.